All right, what is up, God Gamers? So yes, we are doing another, and hopefully the last one I will do for a while. We are doing a PvE exotics tier list. It's been a little bit since I've done one. I've changed my mind and my opinions on some guns, and I thought it'd be fun to make another tier list. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Make sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate all of you, and yeah, this is going to be my exotic tier list, or exotic PvE weapons tier list. As of right now, we still have Guardian games coming out, and then we have Season of the Deep. So, my opinions could change on certain guns, depending on, weapon changes in Season of the Deep. The mid-season update did just come out, and yeah, obviously I haven't gotten the chance to test all of these guns, but I've used enough of them, the ones that I hadn't before, and I've kind of changed my mind on a good amount of them. So let's just jump right into it. We're gonna start off with Ace of Spades. I am going to comfortably put Ace of Spades in strong. I feel like Ace of Spades has never... Well, no, it's been meta before, but I feel like it's always been really strong. And I feel like it just kind of remains like, if you need a good, solid, exotic hand cannon to run for pretty much both PvE or even PvP, Ace of Spades is always there. And in PvE, it's honestly still really good. I don't really use it too often, but I know how good it is, and I know a lot of people still use it. So I feel very comfortable putting it in strong right now. Aegis Scepter. I will... I'm torn on this one because I personally think it's meta. I think Aegis Scepter is one of the best guns in the game, personally. Aegis Scepter is so good, especially with the Stasis build. You guys know if you saw my, my Shade Binder build video. I love Aegis Scepter. I love running builds with Aegis Scepter. It's so strong, and I highly recommend it. If you don't have it, go pick it up. If you do have it and you haven't used it in a while, or you haven't used it with a Stasis build, go try it out because it's really strong, and I highly recommend you use it. Moving on from that, we have Anarchy. Now this one's kind of interesting because as of right now, it is not the, most meta thing. A lot of people thought it was going to be meta back in Season of the Seraph when Lightfall came out because of the grenade launcher buff. Although, I'm kind of feeling like Anarchy is kind of just decent right now. It's not too strong. It's definitely not meta. Anarchy is just it's decent right now. It's just fine. If you run it, that's cool. But you're not really gonna miss it if you don't have it. When it comes to damage over time, tick weapons, I like to refer to them as tick weapons, like Witherhoard and Anarchy. I feel like Witherhoard is just a better option because you can run Witherhoard Rocket and then you can run your Starfire build. I know Starfire is getting nerfed next season, but I feel like Witherhoard just does what Anarchy does, but better in my opinion. Maybe not damage wise, I guess, but it just in terms of what I mean. I feel like Witherhoard's the better Anarchy, so I feel like Anarchy is just decent right now. Arbalest. Arbalest is meta. I don't feel like I need to explain that pick. I feel like everybody knows why Arbalest is meta. It's really strong. It's a primary linear fusion. Has Genesis. It's good against anti-barriers, or it has anti-barrier. It's just really strong. Moving on to that, or to Bad Juju. Ooh. I recently used Bad Juju. I feel like putting Bad Juju in decent because it is really good. You don't really see anybody run Bad Juju, and I don't really know why, especially when it comes to newbie players or new lights, stuff like that. Guys, if you're a new light and you have an Ascendant Shard, you want to go buy an exotic, you don't really know what to buy, I highly recommend you buy Bad Juju. It is a gun for pretty much all PvE activities, Nightfalls, even raids, strikes, Gambit even. It's good for pretty much everything. It's just not the strongest thing in the game. There's better options than it, obviously, but if you want a gun that's going to give you consistent and good super energy, it's a really good starting point, to be honest. I highly recommend, if you're a new player out there, go pick up Bad Juju from the kiosk. It's really good. Moving on from that, we have Bastion. Bastion, there's a few situations where Bastion is you want to run it, mainly because it has Unstop, but I feel like Bastion hasn't been very good ever. But it's never been terrible, you know what I mean? It's not a terrible gun. I know it dominated PvP for a while, but this is a PvE tier list. Bastion is good against unstops, and it is actually really good for just melting mini bosses or major champs and stuff like that. But you don't really see a lot of people run it for good reason. There's better options to stun unstop champs, even though this is a really good way to melt unstops. It's just not the best option. So I'm gonna put it in D tier, which is few situations per viable. Yeah, I'm just going to move on from that. We have Black Talon. What the hell are you running? I feel like Black Talon is just a gimmick exotic. It, shoots a little thing, but we have legendary swords that do it now, and it looks cool. That's about it. But it's kind of just one of those things that, if this is a PvE tier list, once again, so keep that in mind. But, in PvP, you can run it, and people understand, I guess, because it's a sword. But, at the same time, at PvE, there's no reason to run Black Talon ever. Unless you just think it looks cool, then I guess that's the why you want it. I don't know. Next up with, I think the next two, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to put Borealis and I'm going to put Cerberus. I recently used Borealis thinking that it'd be really, really good, but I'm not going to lie, guys. I really think the whole gimmick with Borealis and Hardlight switching elements, I feel like it's kind of just like, it's just useless now. I get the appeal of it, but with Grandmaster shields now not being as potent as they used to be, there's no point to a gun like Borealis. The point of Borealis is that it switches between Solar, Arc, and Void. It can't go to Strand or Stasis. I don't think it can. No, it can only go to Solar, Arc, and Void. So Borealis is kind of just useless now because we have things, like adaptive munitions, and we just have guns that, eat through shields like Arbalist and stuff like that. So Borealis doesn't really have a place in the game right now, at least in my opinion. The other one I put in what the hell are you running is the Cerberus, and I feel like I don't need to back that up. If you are a new player and you wasted your exotic cipher on Cerberus because you thought it looked cool, I am so sorry. It is terrible. Actually, no, I don't think it's sold in the kiosk. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, Cerberus is just terrible. It's always been terrible. I know with the catalyst and stuff, like people were saying, oh, it's actually good now. No, I sincerely disagree. I think there is no good use, at least for Cerberus, in my opinion. Chaperone. Moving on from that, should we have Chaperone? Chaperone, I'm gonna put it in few situations where viable. But at the same time, it's not. I don't want everybody thinking that I recommend you run this for anything right now. I feel like once the champ mods come back for shotguns, I feel like it'll be better. Because Chaperone's actually a really strong shotgun to run if there's like unstoppable shotgun, or I guess even anti-barrier shotgun could be a thing in the near future. So Chaperone is actually really, really strong, and it's really good because it has, I think, the highest range of a slug shotgun in the game. I could be wrong on that, but it is really, really strong, and I actually really enjoy using it. I love all the text mechanical weapons. I just haven't used it personally, and I don't really see anybody run it in PvE. But I feel like Chaperone, when we get like an unstopped shotgun or like an anti-barrier shotgun in the near future, I feel like it could really, really shine, and definitely keep your eyes on. So I'm going to put it in a few situations where viable. I don't think it's bad really at all. I just don't think it has a purpose in the game, but I could see a few situations where you would use it. All right, so moving on from that, we have Cloud Strike. Cloud Strike with the Catalyst is strong. Even Cloud Strike without the Catalyst, it's still really good, but Cloud Strike, especially with the Catalyst, is really, really strong. I really like Cloud Strike. I've always been a defender of it. I still use it from time to time. I know it's a pain in the ass to get, but the sniper gets a lot of hate. I think the reason why you don't see a lot of people run it right now is because there's no sniper mods for the artifact. Once sniper mods, once again, like I said with the Chaperone, once sniper mods become back available like in the artifact, you're going to see a lot more people run Cloud Strike in PvE. Let alone, we don't even need artifact mods. You can run it in PvE and it's still really, really good. It's just I don't see a lot of people use it. I personally use it all the time, although I highly recommend you guys use it. It's actually really, really strong. It's not meta or anything though. Don't think that. Cold Heart, I could see a few situations where Cold Heart's viable. I feel like besides like Wave Splitter this season with the artifact mods, I feel like once we get artifact mods that lean towards Arc, Cold Heart will have a place in the game. That's all I'm going to say on it. Collective Obligation. Right now, I was wrong when I put this in my last tier list. I think I put it in D tier in my last tier list. Collective Obligation this season specifically is so strong. I was so wrong about it. I was so wrong about a lot of guns, which happens because obviously I don't use every single gun every waking moment of the day. But a lot of people in the comment section of my last tier list video were telling me that I placed Collective Obligation really incorrectly and I need to go back and try it again, and that I was stupid and I was an idiot, all that stuff. And they were right, because Collective Obligation is really strong right now, especially with Bricks from Beyond and Volatile Flow in the artifact. Really, really strong. The Colony. I'm going to put the Colony in what the hell are you running? Don't feel like I need to back that point up. We have a lot to go through, so I'm just going to kind of skim through a little faster. But yeah, Colony gets, absolute dog shit tier. I don't know why you'd run it. No real point in any. Maybe Crucible, I guess. That's like it. But like this is a PvE tier list. I don't see a reason why you'd ever run it. Conditional Finality, I will put in meta this season because it is kind of meta right now. It's actually really strong for GMs. And a lot of people don't use it. Well, a lot of people don't really have it yet. Once more people start getting it, you're going to see a lot more people use it in endgame content like GMs. But the fact that you can stun champions with this, with both shots, you can stun unstops, and then I think you can also stun barriers, or is it overloads? I forget. But I know for a fact you can stun unstops with it, which is so strong. It's really, really good. Crimson, I will also put in strong. Crimson is really solid. Especially, once again, like I was saying with Bad Juju earlier, if you're a new player, guys, go pick up Crimson. Crimson is really, really good. Just being able to get health back on kills is super strong. And then with the Catalyst, I believe you also get ammo back. I forget exactly how it works, but Crimson is a really great starter weapon, and it's a really great weapon for literally anybody in PvE, just like generally speaking. Moving on from that, we have Cryosthesia. I think because it can stun unstops, I'll put it in few situations. Other than that, I put it in what the hell are you running? I don't really see a point to it, besides being able to stun unstops with the freezing shot that you get from it. That part's really good, so I could definitely see a few situations where you'd want it. Also, I guess anti-barrier this season, since sidearms are anti-barrier, you could use it for that. And it does have a cool ornament, I guess, so I will put it in a few situations where viable. Darcy, I will do the same thing with Darcy because you can tell distance. No, I feel like I have to be fair. I have to put in what the hell are you running. Darcy only serves purposes that are not intended for the game. I understand that the weapon is intended to show you meters and health numbers and stuff like that. Although I just think Darcy is just not. I don't think that's a reason to put Darcy up high in the tier list. I think it does belong in the what the hell are you running tier. Moving on from that, we have DMT. DMT is it's fine right now. It's a little too strong still, and I know a lot of people might disagree with me on that. But DMT is fine right now. It's not terrible. You could use it in PvE and be fine. Scout rifles are unstopped this season, so you can get unstopped from this. So it's not a completely useless gun, but it's not meta or really strong or anything like that. Dead Messenger. Okay, so this does fall into the same category as Borealis, where the whole switching archetypes or switching, element types is kind of useless. But honestly, with Dead Messenger, I'm kind of feeling like breaking my or contradicting myself or being a hypocrite, I guess, and I'm gonna put it in decent. I feel like Dead Messenger is decent right now, and that's all I'm gonna say on that. I feel like it's the best of the three between Borealis, what's it called, Hardlight, and Dead Messenger. Of the three that can change elements, I feel like Dead Messenger is probably the best. Deathbringer, few situations. I know Deathbringer, a lot of people like it. I personally don't like it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all, and that's not why I'm putting it in few situations. I'm just saying, like, I don't really enjoy using it all that much. I know it's very gimmicky, and it's not, it's just not my favorite thing to run. I'm just being honest there. I have played with it a little bit recently, although I'm just not the biggest fan. I don't really see the point, although there are a few situations where I'm like, Deathbringer could be good here, so I will not put it in what the hell are you running. Deterministic Chaos. This season, I feel like it's meta. I feel like a lot of people might disagree with me on that, but I feel like Deterministic Chaos is absolutely meta this season. All right, and then we have the Season of Dawn sidearm that I forget the name of. What the fuck? I can't remember the name. Whatever. It's going in what the hell are you running. I know it gets stun unstops, but I hate it. I hate that sidearm. Whenever I see people running, or Devil's Ruin, that's the name. Jesus Christ. Devil's Ruin. I don't like Devil's Ruin personally. That's just a personal pick. I'm just being honest. I don't like it. Divinity's meta. I'm not gonna explain that. We all know Divinity's meta. Duality is decent right now. The Catalyst does make it a lot better, although I think I personally like Duality. It's more a PvP gun, if I'm being honest, but like I said, once we get more mods for shotguns in the artifact, especially like if we get it next season, you're going to see a lot more people using things like Chaperone, Duality, the exotic shotguns in PvE activities, and I'm actually really excited to get shotgun mods back. So yeah, I think Duality deserves a decent tier, at least right now. We're going to put all three of the exotic glaives in what the hell are you running. They are dog shit. The only exotic glaive worth running right now is most likely Winterbite, and that is probably going to stay the same for quite some time. Ariana's Vow is meta still. Don't let people tell you wrong, or tell you otherwise. Sorry. Ariana's Vow is really, really strong right now, and it pretty much has been since it came out in Season of Undying, and yeah, it's just really, really strong. Eyes of Tomorrow, what the hell are you running? No. Few situations, because if I'm talking about PvE specifically, like Gambit, I guess technically falls under that. So I think, like, to be fair, I have to put it in few situations where viable. Yeah, that just me being fair. I feel like it doesn't have much use. I know there's some people, or like there was some video clips coming out of people using it on like Nezarec and stuff, and it actually does pretty decent damage. Although I feel like there's just so many better options, and it's good for Gambit. So I'll put it in few situations where viable. Fighting Lion is also like, I have to put it in a few situations because of the bug that it had, and it's actually still pretty decent now. The fact that it takes primary ammo, the Catalyst is really good with it. I think Fighting Lion is hella underrated, but I don't think it's something you should run over, anything in strong or meta tier, if I'm being honest, although I do still think it's really good. The final warning. I'm going to put the final warning in few situations because there are some strand builds that are pretty good with it. Other than that, I hate that gun. I was so excited for that gun to come out, and it really disappointed me. Forerunner. Forerunner is really strong right now. The only problem with Forerunner is the ammo economy. That is the only problem. Other than that, if they could fix the ammo economy with Forerunner, I would be the happiest man alive. The special ammo economy right now is really good, although with Forerunner, it's still bad. I just wish Forerunner had more ammo. I just wish it had more ammo like Ariana's. Even though Ariana's doesn't have that much, but I feel like it's because it's a single shot. This one feels like a regular hand cannon. I can't go into it, but like, I feel like Forerunner is really, really strong. It just needs better ammo economy. That's the only reason why it's not meta. Fourth Horseman, you guys know me. Fourth Horseman's meta. Don't let people tell you otherwise, guys. I know a lot of people disagree with me and say I'm an idiot for using Fourth Horseman, but I promise you I've hit some of my highest DPS numbers on like Rolk, Nezarec, Tanix with Fourth Horseman. It is one of the strongest guns in the game for boss DPS right now, and I highly recommend you use it. Death's Tomb, I think this is something Tomb. Something Tomb, I forget. This thing is decent though. I remember this thing being really good. I think it is also its arc. So once we get more arc mods in the artifact, it will be probably like stronger meta. Delicate Tomb, something like that. I forget what it's called, but I know it's something Tomb. It is really, really strong. Gallarhorn, definitely meta. I don't feel like I need to explain that decision. Everybody knows Gallarhorn's meta. Grand Overture, few situations were viable. Grand Overture is kind of broken sometimes, and the Rocket Blast is really awesome. It's really awesome. And there's some like situations where I'm like, I should be running Grand Overture, so like I can't put in what the hell are you running, but I do feel like it's not, strong or meta or anything like that. Graviton Lance this season, super strong. I'm not gonna put it in meta. Don't think it's meta, but it is really, really strong, and I was incorrect about it in my last placement. So yeah. Hardlight is gonna be what the hell are you running? Falls under the same issue as Borealis. It's just like, no, my mic is fucking up. My mic is fucking up. There we go. All right. Yeah. Hardlight is just kind of one of those things. It's just, yeah, it's the same as Borealis, just better things to run. Hawkmoon in PvE, Hawkmoon's decent. Hawkmoon's not terrible, guys. A lot of people don't use Hawkmoon for good reason. There's better options, but I still feel like it's decent. And it's one of those things, if you're a new player and you get a Hawkmoon, you want to use it in PvE, it's good in PvE. You can use it. There's nothing wrong with using Hawkmoon. There's just better options. I feel like there's more than a few situations where it's viable, and I don't think it's something that you should be like, why are you running Hawkmoon? I feel like it's just decent. Yeah. Heart Shadow. I honestly want to put it in decent because I actually really enjoy Heart Shadow. Personally, because I've been playing a lot of Invis Hunter, been playing a lot of Void Hunter, and Heart Shadow is really, really cool, especially with Invis builds, especially with Garfalcons. I really enjoy Garfalcons this season, along with the artifact mods. Really, really strong and fun stuff. I highly recommend you guys try. I might put out a build about my Invis Hunter build, my Invis Hunter build. I might put out a video about that using Heart Shadow. It's really, really fun and really strong. We have what's it called? Heir Apparent. That's it. I almost forgot the name for a second. Heir Apparent. Few situations were viable. I know there was like that craze a couple seasons ago where people are using this in GMs and just fucking destroying everything. I feel like once we get more arc mods in the game, it'll probably be more viable. Or is it solar? I think it's solar. Once we get more solar mods in the game, it'll be viable. Although Heir Apparent just doesn't really have a place right now. But there's definitely a few situations where I'm like, I should be using Heir Apparent. So I gotta put it there at least. Hierarchy of Needs is actually few situations were viable. I was gonna put it in decent. But I feel like I had to put it in a few situations because there is a couple like stuff in this, there's a couple things in this game where I'm like, I should be using Hierarchy of Needs, or I wish I was using Hierarchy of Needs. But it's not like meta, it's not strong. It's like, it's just fun to use. It's a really cool gimmicky bow, and I really enjoy it. Huckleberry is strong right now. It's always been strong since Warmind. If you're a new player, go pick up Huckleberry. That's one of the exotics I'd definitely recommend to new players. It's really, really fun, and it's text mechanic weapons. Who doesn't like text mechanic weapons? Izanagi's definitely gets meta for sure. Jade Rabbit, what the hell are you running? It's never been good. I'm so sick and tired of arguing with people that Jade Rabbit is back. Jade Rabbit is #1. It's on top. It's never been good. Not even Destiny 1. It was bad in Destiny 1. I'm sick and tired of it. I am sick and tired of hearing Jade Rabbit is back or Jade Rabbit is the best. So I hate that shit. We have Jotun. Jotun is honestly, I feel like in seasons to come, it'll be really, really strong once we get like more solar mods. But like Jotun is just a lot of fun, so I have to put it in decent. It's not strong. It's not meta. It's fine. Jotun's fine. Lament is really strong, though. I will definitely put Lament there. Last Word, what the hell are you running? Remember, this is a PvE list, so Last Word, if you're running Last Word of PvE, I don't care what kind of gunslinger, I don't care what kind of Tex Mechanica user you are, it's not very good. Lame Monarch is really good this season, though, especially with the artifact mods. That's going to go in strong for sure. Legend of Acreus. I was also wrong about Legend of Acreus, although... Okay, so here's the thing with this. So a lot of people in my video talking about Fourth Horseman were telling me that Legend of Acreus was better than Fourth Horseman, and you're fucking wrong. You're absolutely wrong. The reason you're wrong, though, is because you can run Fourth Horseman and you can run Hothead. When you run Legend of Acreus, you cannot run Hothead. You cannot run an explosive light, rocket launcher, because you're running Legend of Acreus. With with Fourth Horseman, though, you can run Fourth Horseman, you can run explosive light, and if you're crazy enough, you could even run a special weapon in your primary slot, because that's how good the special economy is right now. But Legend of Acreus is still really strong. I will put it in strong tier. I really do enjoy it, but I don't think it's meta. Leviathan's Breath. I think as of recent, Leviathan's Breath is definitely strong. I don't think it's meta. I think a lot more people are bringing it out, though. Thankfully, it is a really good gun. Just gonna take a drink here. Lord of Wolves. What the hell are you running? Lorentz Driver for this season. For this season alone, I will put it in decent. I think there's better options like Arbalist, but I don't think Lorentz is bad in any way, shape, or form. I just don't think it belongs in strong. I don't think it belongs in meta for sure. Lumina. Lumina is really decent right now. It's really, really good with the buff. But that's the only thing. It kind of has the same effect as Divinity. It's just, I feel like Divinity is better for the whole team, whereas Lumina is better for giving like one of your friends a nice damage buff. I know you can stack the noble rounds and give it to multiple people, although I feel like Divinity is just better than Lumina. Even if the Lumina damage buff is higher, you can just everybody gets the div buff. Not everybody will get the Lumina buff. That's the point I'm trying to make. Malfeasance. Ugh. I got a lot of shit for putting Malfeasance in F tier last time. I'm like deciding live where I want to put this. I will say there's a few situations where I guess you could run Malfeasance to be good, especially if we're running Taken activities. Although I don't think Malfeasance is that good. I'm sorry. I always have hated it. Same thing with Manticore. There's a few situations where Manticore could be really cool with a build, but I don't really think Manticore is really that strong. The only reason is that it's Void, and this season with the artifact mods, anything Void is really good, but I will definitely put Manticore in few situations where viable. Merciless. All right, so this was the most divisive one from my last tier list, was everybody telling me that I was wrong about Merciless. Now, let's just get the record straight. I am willing to admit that I was wrong for putting Merciless in F tier, all right? I will admit that. I will get that out of the way. I'll admit it. Although, a lot of people were telling me that it's the best thing in the game. It's the best damage for Nezarec. It's not. It's not. It's just not. You're not... I've seen the videos of people melting of Nezarec with this, but there's still better methods out there. Merciless is not the best thing for Nezarec. Merciless is strong. So Merciless is essentially A tier. That is the highest position I'm willing to give Merciless. I'm not willing to put it in meta for the life of me. Yeah. Mida, Multi-Tool, and Monte Carlo. Both, I don't care what people say about those. Mida had its heyday back in Vanilla D2, and even in Destiny 1, it was really good, and really good for both PvE and PvP. Although Mida has never really been good for PvE in Destiny 2, and it's not good in PvP anymore either, even though this is a PvE list. Monte Carlo, I understand with the whole melee energy thing, it can be really good, but there are far better options, and I feel like if you're running Monte Carlo, I'm going to question you and be like, why are you running Monte Carlo? So, yeah. I will be generous to Monte Carlo. I will put it in few situations where viable. I'll change my mind a little bit on that, because I could see you having a melee build with Monte Carlo and it working pretty well, although I would still, I would still be like, like why? No Time to Explain. For PvE, it's decent. For PvE, No Time to Explain it is decent. It's fine. It's not great. It's not strong. It's not meta. It's fine. There's more than a few situations where you could use No Time to Explain. I feel like it's pretty good for just general PvE, especially if you're on like Arc Warlock and you get with Getaway Artist and you get Arc Souls, you get your Arc Buddy with No Time, or your Time Portal, whatever it is. It could be really, really strong. So 1K Voices is strong. It's always been strong. Once we get solar mods back in the game, It's going to be nothing but stronger. I'm very excited to get solar mods and start using 1K again. You could even use 1K right now, and it's still really, really strong. Osteo meta. We all knew it. We all knew it. Outbreak perfected. I put Outbreak in meta before. I'm going to put it in strong now. I feel like it's just fine. I feel like it's really strong. I don't think it's meta anymore. I don't think too many people are using it. I feel like it definitely needs a little bit of rework. I know with the pulse rifle damage buff coming out today, I did use it today. It is really good, although I still don't feel like it's meta. I feel like there's far better options, but it still is really strong. Parasite is also really strong. It's good for a few situations, but I feel like more than a few to where I can't put it in few situations where viable, and it's definitely better than decent. If you use Parasite how it's intended to be used, where you get kills and then you shoot one shot, it's one of the strongest guns in the game. It's definitely not meta or anything like that, but it is really strong. Polaris Lance is also really strong for sure. I don't think, well, I guess I could explain that a little bit. Polaris Lance, I gave it a lot of flack in my last tier list video, and I kind of regret that. A lot of people gave me shit about that. I actually really enjoy Polaris Lance right now. I don't see myself using it forever or consistently that much, but I did try it out, and I have to say I was wrong about it, so I will put it in strong. It is really, really good. Prometheus Lens, there's a few situations, especially if we get mods, like I said, in the future. Prospector, I'm going to be honest, Prospector has always been a what the hell are you running? I understand it's been good sometimes, very rare occasions where you see people use Prospector versus bosses, but like, never been my thing. I don't really like it. I always question people that run Prospector. So yeah, that's my opinion of it. Queenbreaker, we're getting to the final 3 rows here. Queenbreaker, what the hell are you running? Quicksilver Storm is strong right now for sure. Rat King, what the hell are you running? I understand how Rat King works. You need 6 of them to get the full effect, although that in itself is fucking ridiculous. I think Rat King has always been a really stupid gimmick and a really stupid exotic. I understand it's kind of funny, but yeah. Revision 0. Man, I want to like this gun so much. I really did. The fact that it has altering fire modes, it's a 4-round burst pulse, it's a 2-round burst. I really, really wanted to enjoy Revision 0, but I gotta say, I don't. I really don't like it. Even with the Catalyst, I don't like it. I just don't. Risk Runner is strong, though. Risk Runner definitely gets, especially once we get Arc mods in the Artifact, this will be really good. Ruinous Effigy, especially right now, is also really strong. Definitely going to put that up there. Salvation's Grip, we're definitely going to put that in what the hell are you running. If you're running that, you're stupid. Skyburner's Oath, I'm going to put it in few situations where viable because Proving Grounds is Grandmaster this season, and it's really good for Proving Grounds. That is the literal only reason Skyburners is not in what the hell are you running. That is the only reason. Sleepers, yeah, there's a few situations where Sleeper Simulant is really, really good. It had its heyday. It's not the best thing in the world anymore. Unfortunately, I really enjoy Sleeper Simulant, but yeah, it's not what it used to be. Sturm, what the hell are you running? I understand, guys, for PvP, Storm is really good. This is a PvE list, and if you run Sturm and Drang, I guess it could be kind of cool, and, you know, maybe there's, like, a situation or two where it's, like, useful, although, if I'm being honest, what the hell are you doing running 2 primaries nowadays? It's a thing of the past. Sturm is just not, you know, it's not what it used to be. Sunshot is decent. I will put Sunshot in decent. Same thing with actually the next couple. I'm going to put Suros, I'm going to put Sweet Business in decent, and I'm also going to put Symmetry in decent. All 3 of these are actually really good. Suros is actually really strong in PvE, especially as of today. As of today, with the auto rifle buff from the mid-season update, Suros is actually really, really strong. I don't really recommend you use it over other things that are in like stronger meta tier, in my opinion, like Quicksilver Storm. That's another good example, or even Osteo. But if you want to use these exotics, these are actually really, really strong. Symmetry is really good. I was actually really wrong about Symmetry. I thought it was completely useless. It's actually a really good gun. It really is. Same thing with Sweet Business too, especially if you run Actium War Rigs. It's crazy. It's really, really strong. Moving on from that, we have Teraba. Teraba, I will put Teraba in strong. I think Teraba gets a lot of bad rep, and I think I even gave it a bad rep before, but Teraba is really, really good. Teraba is just really, really strong. Once you can get the perk proc, especially, you can just slay through ads. It kind of works like a, I don't want to say a mini, what's this called? Huckleberry, but you know, it's just really good. Yeah, it's like on the same tier as Huckleberry. I'll put them right next to each other. They're pretty much the same thing. Not really, obviously I know that, but like in terms of like the value I see in them, I feel like they're about the same. Telesto, I will always put Telesto's strong right now because of the mods. I have to put it strong because of the mods. It's really good because of the mods. Thorn with necrotic grips, I guess that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. If you're running Thorn with necrotic grips in PvE, makes sense. It's a good build. You could run Osteo. Osteo is meta, but I could see why you'd run Thorn, so I'll put it in few situations where viable. Thunderlord is definitely meta right now, especially with Catalyst, with Divinity. Thunderlord is really, really strong. Tiku's Divination, I was wrong about Tiku's. I did try Tiku's out, and Tiku's is actually also really strong. I really do like Tiku's. I can't really see myself using it all that much, although if there's ever like a Tiku's build that I see that I really like, I will probably throw it on and use it, and maybe even make a video about it. Moving on from that, we have Tommy's Matchbook. I'm going to put Tommy's and Touch in the same boat here. I know they do slightly different things, but they both have the same gimmick where, you know, they hurt you after a while. Like once you get to the last shot in Touch of Malice, it reloads itself, or at least it keeps going, but it damages you every time you shoot it. And then Tommy's burns you over time. And I hate both of those personally. And so I could see the appeal with like a well. So we'll put Tommy's and Touch both in the same tier in a few situations where viable. I don't personally like the whole gimmick of being damaged for shooting. I don't like that at all, and I understand there's some builds with it. I can't get behind it personally, but I don't think it's like, what the hell are you running? Maybe Tommy's, but definitely not Touch. But I feel like they're about the same. Tractor Cannon is meta this season, one of the best debuffs in the game for sure. Traveler's Chosen is really strong right now. That gets a strong tier. Trespasser is decent. Once we get more arc mods, like I keep saying for a lot of these arc weapons, once we get arc mods back in the artifact, Trespasser will be back in the menu. Same thing with Trinity Ghoul, although Trinity Ghoul is going to get strong tier because it's really, really strong. Just the base gun with Catalyst is just really, really strong. You don't really need mods for it to be really good. That's why it gets a strong tier. Truth is a what the hell are you running? I think Truth is one of the most useless exotics in the game right now, personally, and I just don't like it. Two-tailed Fox. Two-tailed Fox is meta with the Catalyst for sure. Two-tailed Fox is really, really strong right now. This is the new seasonal bow I don't remember the name of, although it's really strong with the build, so I'm going to put it in strong tier. I actually really like using it with my Stasis Warlock, and I might make another video talking about that because it's actually really good, although of course I can't remember the fucking name of the bow. It is brand new, so I guess bear with me, but yeah, I don't remember the name of the bow, but it's really, really strong. We have Vex Mythoclast, which is also really strong right now. It's always been strong for both PvE and PvP. I know it had its heyday back in Destiny 1 when it first released, and it hasn't really been the same since. Although in PvE and PvP, it's still really, really strong. This is a PvE list. In PvE, it's really, really strong, and I really enjoy it. Moving on from that, we have Vigilance Wing. I will put a few situations where viable. I don't think it's like a what the hell are you running because Vigilance is just a good gun itself, but I feel like it doesn't deserve decent, strong, or meta tier. I feel like it's just one of those guns that you can occasionally run, and like it's fine. You can just occasionally run it. We have Wardcliff Coil. Few situations. Whenever something's broken in the game, you use Wardcliff Coil. That's all I'll say about that. We have Wave Splitter. Wave Splitter, as of this season, is meta. I was wrong about Wave Splitter. It is definitely meta, for sure. We have Black Spindle, or I guess Whisper of the Worm as it's called. I still like calling it Black Spindle. Black Spindle, there's a couple situations where I'm like, we could run Whisper of the Worm, but like, it's not terrible. It's just not what it used to be. It's just not, guys. I really wish it was, trust me. It's just not. Winterbite. Winterbite right now is meta, especially with a good stasis build. Just saying. But Winterbite, even on its own, is just absolutely meta right now. Same thing with the next two. I'm just going to move these next two into meta. Wishender and what's it called? Witherhoard. Both meta right now. You guys know. Witherhoard is one of the best exotics in the game, period. Arguably the best for, you know, damage over time, boss damage, even just general ad clearing. It's really good in PvP, although it's a PvE list. And then moving on to Wish Ender. Wish Ender is probably my new favorite gun in the game. That's why I'm putting it at the front of meta. I love Wish Ender. It literally is my baby now. I have like almost 3,000 kills on it, which for a bow is a lot because you have to individually shoot every single target. It's really, really strong, and I absolutely love it. Moving on from that, we're getting down to our final two, and I do see we are missing one exotic on here that I know about. I might be missing another one. Let me know down in the comments if I'm missing any other exotics on this list. I guess it's just not on this tier list. But we have Worldline Zero. That is definitely going in What the Hell Are You Running? I understand the whole skating aspect with it, although with well skating and shatter skating, it doesn't have a purpose in the game anymore. That opinion has not changed. And then we have Xenophage. Xenophage is strong. It is no longer meta, but it is strong, in my opinion. And, yeah, that just about does it. So, yeah, guys, that is my, Season of Defiance current exotic weapons PvE, once again, PvE tier list. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I appreciate all of you. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think I got right, what I got wrong. I've done a lot of time using these guns and kind of rethinking my thought process about where I would place them on here and what I confidently feel is like a solid, accurate list. And personally, this is a really good list for me. I think I kind of hit the mark on this. But, I could be completely wrong. Maybe I put your favorite exotic in F tier. If I did, I'm sorry. But, yeah, let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate all of you. And, yeah, have a great rest of your day. All right.